before the panel about just sort of all the things the actors brought to their characters, and in this moment, this is a great example of how you made a choice with this hat to in the episode. Can you talk a little bit about the story of the hat?
Well, when it works, great. Talk through the hat without being muffled.
Now he's really talking through his hat.
One of the women who worked in the office knitted a couple of these. She was a good knitter. You call them knitters? She knitted well. She made two of these, and when I first looked at it, I was, oh, this is beautiful, great, terrific. And I made a conscious choice and talked with Tim, because Tim, this was the last episode we shot. Tim, I said, Tim, can I wear it pretty much through the whole episode? And he was like, I don't know, maybe that's a little over. I'm doing it. Joss isn't here, I'm doing it. So then I was able to use it to take it off at the end to honor Tracy's parents, the survivors, because Tracy, we were burying him at the end there. So what was the question? Oh yeah, doings. I always like to have doings. Jane was a man of a few words, but he had a lot of props and stuff. So I worked real hard with the prop guys, and this hat just fit perfect. I mean, oh my God, this is a gold mine. This is like a birthday cake in a wasteland. It's just great.
And you made a choice to wear that through the whole episode, right?
Say again?
You made a choice to actually wear that throughout the entire episode, and.
Tim agreed after I twisted his arm a little bit, so thank you for that. It turned out okay at the end. Thank you.
It turned out very well, but I feel like you're talking through your hat.
I think that we have a special purpose for this hat, don't we?
I was asked to...
oh God, it's going to be a riot.
Well, how do we determine who answers the question?
What we're going to do is we're going to... where's our line? Where's our line with the microphone? Right here.
There you are.
Adam has a question to ask, and the first person who gets it right is going to win this hat.
All right, here's a trivia question to win this beautifully knitted Jane replica hat.
It's a replica.
It's a replica. I'll tell you, the original one went for $5,000 to charity, so thank you. And the trivia question is, on which planet did Tracy wish to be buried?
Can I answer that? Hey, come on now. What's your answer?
Oh God, okay.
The name of the planet on which Tracy wished to be buried.
If you don't know, it's okay. You can ask your question. You won't lose your place in line.
If you don't know, you may have created the show.
All right.
Spencer Tracy.
Wait.
This guy knows.
White.
Negative. Negative.
No. One more guess.
Wait, everybody's going.
One more guess. Yeah, go ahead. Go again.
We got to do this quick. Everybody's on Google on their phones now.
Was it Vulcan?
I just want you to know this gag was not my idea.
I'll tell you what. Let's move on. We will, if someone comes to the microphone during the Q&A portion and has the answer, we'll give away the hat. All right.
Yeah. All right. Wait, Joss, do you remember?
Oh, I already admitted I know.
Okay.
Sweetie, I'm not sure who some of you are.
It's true.
It's just, I'm in a bit of a fog. Some of you may know from last night why. Good seats, but that's cool.
Who was sleeping outside last night and got woken up by this guy? Did you think you were dreaming?
I have a question for Summer, but we have another clip first, so let's roll the clip here. Secret's very troubled, but what was the key for you in playing that character?
Remembering myself at 17, which was like 2 years before.
Joss, I'd just love to know, it's hard to hear up here sometimes. Joss, I'd love to know, just like how important were these actors in sort of bringing your vision to life? And you could just talk about like casting like Summer, like why was she perfect for Rip?
You can't change your mind now. I already got cast.
Sure. George Lucas could. He could digitally make it. I'm not saying we've had a meeting about it. I'm just saying. These, as I've said before, are honestly the finest meat puppets that I've ever controlled. And it's hard for me because I do remember the time before these people played these parts. I remember the audition process. I remember, you know, it was an incredibly long and ghastly process, quite frankly. And yet, then comes written history where these were the people before I wrote it. And I feel like somehow, at some point, I was in a hotel in London and I finished this book, you know, which is a story I've told many times, The Killer Angels, and was like, this is the story I want to tell, but with Han Solo in it. And I feel like the moment that happened, like all of them sort of like were somewhere just like went, like they became somebody else, and they didn't know it yet, but they were those people before they met me, and even if they hadn't been playing them or playing that particular type of person, it just, Summer is so crazy, and you know, the amount of vulnerability and strength that she can convey is beyond magnetic. It is, you know, I look at her and I think I will come with her if I want to live.
And Joss, why was Nathan the perfect captain for the Serenity? Why was Nathan Fillion the perfect captain for Serenity?
Okay. You know, you have to make compromises at some point. But before I wax lyrical, I just want to say one other thing. Watching that, because I haven't watched the show in a while, Jewel makes me cry, and Gina is the most badass woman I've ever seen. It really is absurd. The people who are not here, my heart is breaking that they're not here. Not just to experience this, but because I miss them so much. And that's ridiculous, because look what I got. But I'm still greedy and I want more. I want the whole set. Two, one that I can keep in the box, well, in a jar in my basement, and then the other that I can play with for real. The captain. I don't know how to first of all, I know that no matter what I say, he's gonna make a face. And it's gonna change the context of whatever I'm saying. I feel like I'll stare at you. Restraint, dignity. These are the things that there was never a moment from the time we met where I did not think you were the captain. And anybody who knows the history of what went after the show, up to and including a party at your house like 3 weeks ago, knows that Nathan is the captain. The thing that, you know, Alan will say, he is there to make sure that everybody is having the best time doing their best work. That's partially the job of the executive producer or the director. The DP also has a big influence on the crew, but the captain of a ship and the star of a show both have a responsibility that most actors are not up to or ignore. Or even if they're trying to do it, they can't convey the enormous gravitas that this clown can. And to have a man who, when he looks at you, you go, and he's not happy with you. And I know, and I think we can all remember, we had a visiting actor who was very disrespectful to some of the females in the cast. And he got a taste of what Nathan's like when somebody threatens his loved ones. Just a little piece. You don't want that. You don't want Nathan. He gets very Canadian. And Alan's in it too.
I think we should get into fan questions here pretty quick. Just 2 more questions before we do that. Adam, I'd love to hear just like what has the fan phenomenon, the brown coats have kept this thing alive for 10 years. What has it meant to you?
Kelly Wheeler was a woman who worked in our office, and she was assistant to Gareth Davies, our production manager, producer. And she introduced us all to the online community, and that outreach that got to us, and then the feedback that fans were able to give to us over time really was inspirational. And I was talking about this earlier today, that upon cancellation of the film, I ran up to Joss's office because I had been not on the set when the announcement was made, and I saw him diligently trying to get it back up in the air, and I saw this look of determination in his eyes, and I never gave up hope. And the feedback from the fan, I was never able to say anything, it was always up to Joss, but when the fan community that was interacting with us at that point, they never gave up, and I think Joss understood that you never gave up, and so he never did either. So one of the most heartwarming and wonderful times of my entire life was watching that show be resurrected as a major motion picture. Couldn't have done it without you guys.
I sometimes look back and I think of the movie Serenity as one of the finest nervous breakdowns a man could possibly have.
Expensive.
I was inconsolable, and it changed me, and it changed the way I work, and it changed the way I operate, because there was no reality where I would not get these people back together. There was just none. I've never been that before. And really, I don't give a shit about anything since. So that was the one time. It was almost like being a man. Or so I have read.
Let's go to the audience. Where's our first question?
St. Albans, I didn't use Google.
Winner!
Okay, actual question. First, the show has saved my life. That's kind of the only way I can put it without talking for 10 minutes. But thank you for that. Okay, action. I can speak. What is your favorite fan story? Just crazy, run into brown coat on the street and say, "Hey, Ken," which I saw on Twitter once, Nathan, and stuff. I'm not good at pan really.
Speaking of Twitter, last night I saw on Twitter there were some folks hanging out in line. I ran down there and you guys were down, I don't know what time you lined up, but at 8 o'clock, I came down like 11:30, and you were all there and you were very nice, so thank you for that. I heard there were some other people. And I got a cupcake. Spiked. Not really. Wait a minute. Please be aware that many members of your audience may be under the age of
18 years of age.
Looks like our contest winner has her hat on. Can we get a shot?
Yeah.
Awesome.
so happy Claire Danes won the hat.
All right, next question.
Did anybody answer that?
It didn't get answered.
You want your crazy? Okay, so one crazy van story.
That was my crazy
fans.
Crazy man.
Is this about?
That's what she asked.
Bad timing. Oh, sorry. I watched one time when a woman walked up to you, Joss, and we were in the foyer of a building, and a woman walked up to you and made to speak and broke down into tears.
I kicked her.
Which surprised me because I didn't know you very well. But now I do. But much like you said, and it always warms my heart when people say it had an effect, when you say it saved your life. Obviously, this woman, you touched her in a when people are moved,